All right, guys, what is going on? It is another edition of Lights Out, episode 30, I think 2? Yeah, 32, if I'm not mistaken. And for the first time ever, I am not in my traditional setup. I'm on the road right now recording content for Luminosity as they grill me through the window, wondering why I am doing my own thing instead of their thing. Well, look, Jims, okay, when it comes to Lights Out, we don't miss, and I don't miss episodes. So how you boys doing?
Actually lying, by the way. He's not there doing Luminosity stuff. His production is lowered because Nintendo has cut our prices. That's the reality.
Yeah. That's why I also moved too.
Yeah, I'm on the way, trust.
You idiots. Well, yeah, I think by Light's comment, everybody's familiar with what's the big news going on right now within the gaming space. Oof, Nintendo. Dropping a bombshell on the community. I guess at the time of this recording would have been like late last night. I know Japan was affected first, and people were like, "Oh, they'll probably just stay in Japan." And then Europe got it too. And I was like, "Oh shit, I've seen this before. It's called COVID, okay?" And sure enough, America got infected right on cue. So everybody hit with the new guidelines. If you guys will give me a second, I'll just outline a few of the highlights from what was said, so we all are kind of on the same page here, because we had some online sleuths do the work for us, which is always good because I'm pretty lazy. So let's see. Gyro might,
trust me.
Yeah, Gyro might made an initial tweet that just kind of highlighted a lot of the stuff. Here we go. So some of the highlights from these new tournament guidelines that Nintendo posted. Limiting the size of registration fees to $13 USD, limits offline tournament size to 200 entrants or less, sponsor monetization restrictions, no cash prizes. Okay, so all of this, and I think even 300 online tournaments as well, like a limited 300 people for online tournaments as well. I think this all applies this only applies to unlicensed events. Events that have a license can operate outside of these guidelines, which are pretty imposing. And honestly, a lot of people's reaction to this was like doom and gloom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to be the end of tournaments on a large scale as we know it. When you guys found out about this, please, I'd love to know your reactions. I'll start with you, Cosmos.
I mean, I was definitely in the doom and gloom kind of perspective, and honestly, I still kind of am, not as much as I was before, but like still kind of am, just because like this always keeps happening, and the fact that this keeps happening, and the fact that they keep bringing like this kind of topic up about how they want their property to be basically like catered towards them, it makes me feel like no matter how big we try to make the game get, or how big we end up getting, they're always going to like put a thorn in our side to stop our growth at some point. So even if it's not like, yes, it's not the end of like the Smash community, it's not the end of Smash and competition in general, it just feels like no matter what, we're not going to be able to be as big as we want to be. And like the thing that I was thinking about for this is like, it sucks and it's really annoying because I really love Smash Brothers a lot. It's like basically my favorite game. It's like my passion, my life. It's like what I built my life around. And at this point, it kind of feels like it's getting to the point where like it is the premier platform fighter. It's the biggest platform fighter, but it feels like it shouldn't be at this point. To me, it feels like it should be another game that takes the spotlight for Smash at this point, because there's a lot of other people that definitely would not do the things that are being done the way that Nintendo is doing them. So it's just kind of unfortunate that this keeps happening, because it feels like there's something that comes up every year or every other year that Nintendo, like, we're growing, and then Nintendo's like, nope, sorry, we're growing. Nope, sorry. So I feel like even though it's not the end of Smash, this is just a reoccurring theme that's going to keep on happening, which is the main point for me.
Okay. Light?
Okay, just to be clear, the no cash prizes section, was that Japan only? Because that one's throwing me off. I don't think that was because for America.
The other one said that one tournament can't have more than $10,000.
Right. And that's because Japan has different gambling laws, so they're going to be a little more strict on that one. But
well, we don't have that anyways because you don't support us. but anyways, yeah, when I found out, I'm not gonna lie, my initial reaction when I found this out, I was like just accepting it. But I literally was like on the phone with a few Smash players. I was like, well, yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna go get a job. I'm not even playing. That was like my actual reaction. I was like, I don't see how we fight this one. We don't fight this one. I'm just gonna move on. I was like having like this moment where I was like, I don't think, you know, that thing people do where like their game dies and like they try to play other games and like they're just not as good in other games and shit like that. I was just thinking, I was like narrating this. I was like, I'm not gonna be the guy who does that, wasting 5 extra years of my life just to do nothing, and then I'm behind in real life. I was going through it, bro. But you know, obviously things started to die down, and I did what everyone else decided to do: read. And you know, the situation I don't think is as bad as we thought. Not nearly as bad. You know,
Yeah.
It seems that all these things get bypassed if you do get a license for the game or for your tournaments. And you know, that's really just dependent of how Nintendo is going to be, because we already know Nintendo's very usually unresponsive when it comes to like our community. But if they're gonna have a rule out like this, it can only be assumed that they're gonna be handing out licenses a lot more often now. And I mean, we had other like people in our community, like Jabali, for example, talk about how like he's gone through stuff like this before, and he can like release like a guide how to do this in the most simple way to get licenses. So we already have people in our community that are offering help to each other to figure out how to get this going. So I don't think it's going to be that much of a hit. It just sucks because, you know, it just, like Cosmo says, it feels like every time we get somewhere, Nintendo's like, all right, slow down there. We're gonna try to make this harder for you.
Sure. And
it's funny because we weren't even getting anywhere at this point. They just threw that shit out for no reason.
Yeah, it kind of it kind of did pop up out of nowhere. And there was like some burner account on Twitter trying to say, oh, because Super Smash Con ignored the cease and desist, you know, this is why this happened. And then, you know, the TOs came on and was like, who is this random talking? Like, there was no cease and desist to ignore, which I will admit I've heard like either or, but you know, I'm not in those meetings, so I don't actually know, but I'm going to take a TO's word over a burner account. No offense to them, but it is what it is. Also some promising things, you know, since that announcement yesterday came out, somebody tweeted out, I think this is Rose Bloom, tweeted out barely a day after the new guidelines, and Japan's biggest regional, Sumabatu, has acquired Nintendo's rights to run their tournaments for the next 10 iterations. So that says this bodes incredibly well for acquiring rights in the US and means that most majors can likely continue running events. So that right there shows me that, hey, maybe what they're putting in these new stipulations, they've also put in a new team in place to review the requests and these licenses to get these out to people quicker. Maybe they're just trying to take a more tactical approach. And to be honest, you know, this could be a liability thing as well. Let's be honest. This community is a dumpster fire sometimes, okay? We all see it. It's always trending every other week for some dumbass reason. And I don't blame a company like Nintendo saying, you know what? At this point, let's make sure that we absolve ourselves of any kind of like problems we might have. Let's do our due diligence and really put our stamp on this. So yeah, there'll be some negative things that come along with it. It is what it is, but at the same time, if they are actually putting us in a position where it's going to be easier to get these licenses for trusted events, I think that's good. You know what I mean? And hopefully it doesn't affect anybody's livelihood or anybody's ability to profit and stuff like that. But you know, I live in the reality, and you know, typing on Twitter all day, you know, F Nintendo ain't gonna do nothing, bro. They don't need you. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like we said, if you get the license, all of this stuff doesn't apply to you, from what it seems. So again, I don't
That's
think
my
it's that bad.
interpretation too.
I only think that it really kills people for the smaller events. But at the same time, how many small events are we really getting nowadays that are hitting like 200 plus people, unless it's like a big regional, you know?
Well,
So
I
I don't know.
understand. Look, for example, like the 300 online tournament cap. Like that's
Well,
like,
I don't care about that.
For a lot of our viewers who probably watch and compete in like something like Coinbox, that's very, you know, that can be very pressing for them. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that series, which has been, I think, a great addition to Smash and has made a lot of people a lot of money. I think that's something that, you know, we got to acknowledge that, yeah, we need to make sure that's something that can continue to operate. I don't think it helps that HBox just goes off on these snap rants about F Nintendo, you're gonna have to come arrest me and all this. I was like, calm down,
And then
buddy.
he asked for a license.
Yeah, calm down, buddy. Okay, like settle down. You're getting a little too riled up there, Juan. All right.
It's like saying fuck the DMV, then you got to show up over there the next day.
Yeah, like dude, they can say no. Like, let's take a more tactical approach here, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not scabbing. Like, if you're going, oh, you're being a scab for Nintendo. First of all, I love Nintendo America, the people I've worked with. My experience with them has been fantastic, and I call a good amount of them my friends, and I don't apologize for that. This is all coming from Nintendo Japan. I don't know them niggas, you know what I'm saying? They doing what they want to do. But we just have to kind of like, go with the wave and hopefully keep things afloat. I love this community. I don't want anything negative to happen to it. I don't want Light thinking about putting down his controller and working at Best Buy as a stock boy, you know what I'm saying?
I make
Cosmos,
a good stock boy,
Taco Bell, I don't know. Me parking cars, probably stealing them. I don't know.
Me going back home.
I'm sorry,
son.
I want to be a doctor.
You don't want this reality, folks. I'm trying to save you.
Oh man, I don't want Cosmos giving anyone surgery.
Trust me, they don't either.
Before you put them out, who do you? Yeah, that's a good video right there. Who do you main? Oh, I main Pyramithra. Then you put the amnesia.
That would actually be comedy. That's a good skit. That is one.
Oh, that's funny as fuck. But yeah, there's also some good that could possibly come out of this. I'm not usually the wishful thinking type, but I mean, this does mean that they're, like Phil said, they're getting a bigger hand on our community now. If they do actually start giving out licenses a lot more, I mean, who knows? That means they can probably get more involved with the community. Maybe they had to make certain guidelines before getting involved with our community. I don't know. But there's no point in looking at it negatively right now because we can just focus on what we can do at the moment.
Yeah, I remember specifically there was a video posted on Twitter. I think Katana Prime posted it, and it was like of Dr. Allen like discussing something with Jacob Wolf about how he knew like a lot of rules and regulations were on the way, and he was trying to use Panda to kind of be like the bridge or the barrier between that to make sure tournaments could keep operating. And there's a lot of things that I feel like were left unsaid in Dr. Allen's departure with the whole Panda Global thing. Hey, maybe sometime he'll come on a podcast and talk about it. You never know. But there's definitely more to there's definitely more spoilers. There's definitely more to unpack with that for sure. But as it stands right now, it seems like the initial reactions were a lot of just, rage and panic. And I understand that completely. We are all passionate about this community. But as things begin to unfold and it seems like, hey, there's actually going to be a legitimate route to some licensing, maybe we'll be able to hold the line. It won't be quite as bad as people think. I don't know about the Melee side of things, because I did see people saying that, well, wait, there's no way for Melee to get a license or something like that because it like applies to Switch games. I didn't read that deep into it. Obviously, BGs. I've been traveling a lot, but
that just doesn't even make any sense because if like what's his name? Samurai Panda, Dr. Allen literally said that tournaments like Genesis have been licensed in the past and they've ran Melee, so that means that Melee has had a license before. So I think Ultimate has been ran.
I don't know if it's like applying to this new form that's coming out, or this new way to apply for a license. I have no idea. I haven't like followed every single thing. I'm just giving you what I know so far. So hopefully that's not the case, because Melee actually just had a banger ass tournament at Big House.
Well, if Mango doesn't show up, they'll never have 200 episodes anyway, so we have nothing to worry about.
That's fair, actually.
Low key.
All right. Speaking of Panda Global, though, I think it's time we talk about the Panda Global people on Twitter who really took the time out of their days to be like, I told you so. I told you this was going to happen. Fuck the Smash community. Blah. I hate you niggas. All right. First of all, I want to get a few things out the way. There's no way that all of you people in Panda Global, every single one of you knew Dr. Allen's plan. I don't believe you guys were coffee makers and he was just giving you the plan. Because I know I've seen a lot of you guys. A lot of you definitely did not have relevant jobs there. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God.
It's funny. It's funny because even people like that were past Panda Global people, like not the jobs, but like MVD was out there like, I told you. I'm like, bro, you were off Panda like 2 years after the
When you leave, he leaves you with a vision.
I can see it.
Bro was definitely caping hard. Like, it's like, oh, all right, you got it.
I didn't see the MVD one, but yeah, no, everyone's just like, bro, everyone's being self-destructive, and I fucking hate it because people are over here yelling into the void of Twitter, and they're like, see, I told you, like, our community's so fucking stupid. We should have listened to Alan, shit like that. You guys are no better than the people who are shitting on Alan when this shit happened, because you guys are just taking the opportunity you can to shit on them. Like, more conflict is not going to do anything for us. We just need to understand that shit happens. We had things that happen. We don't know if what happened with Alan was truthfully a mistake or not. We never know. We never will. No one ever knows the truth for a lot of these situations that we go through. You guys just want to take time. You said what?
You know. Come on, let's keep it real. We know. Come on.
You want to express what we know?
We know.
What do we know?
Allen was right. He was right. But everybody that's saying it doesn't know that, but we know he was right.
I don't know if he was right.
I feel like Dr. Allen
I gotta protect my role, Ma.
As I've said multiple times on multiple episodes, I feel like Allen was way better for the scene than not. So
yep,
that's just my 2
I think
cents.
he definitely had the correct vision. Just maybe he had the correct end goal and like a correct path, but he may have steered off the path a little bit, a lot sometimes. But he was right. He just didn't go about it the right way, but he was right.
You mean like the decisions he made, like getting with Nintendo was right?
Yes.
That was definitely right. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that we don't know, like, all the disputes that happen between the other companies. We don't really, we'll never truthfully know everything that happened there, or like if people were honest or not. But like, no matter what, I don't think more conflict going on Twitter is going to solve anything. All you Panda Global gyms who are just mad you lost your job, I understand you, because I thought I lost my job as of yesterday. That shit fucking sucks.
I lost my job.
But let me tell you what I'm going to do. If I lose my job, I'm not going to fucking go on Twitter and start yelling at a bunch of other Smash people, because it's not doing anything for anyone, man. It's literally not doing anything.
Also not going to undo anything that's already transpired. Like, it's not, okay, maybe you want to feel like, here's my gotcha moment. You know what I mean? But really, like, at the end of the day, it's accomplishing nothing. And as you said, conflict is fuel to a fire that we don't need.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just don't like the senseless conflict, especially when they were aware enough to realize that there was senseless conflict when Panda Global did shut down, you know? And again, I really do feel bad. It fucking sucks that all those people lost their jobs, like, regardless of whether Alan was a good or not a good person. Those people losing their jobs fucking blows, because a lot of them were making good money through that company. So that does suck. But I still think you just yelling on Twitter ain't doing shit. And then when they get called out, they're like, I'm just expressing my opinion. And then other people are like, I'm expressing my opinion too. Fuck you. And it's like, all right, well, now we just got a war on Twitter that doesn't make sense. There's no point in it.
It never ends. I will say I am going to be optimistic about that. These licenses will be handed out, without too much of a conflict, one would hope. And as you said, Light and Cosmos, like, hey, if you get the license, then all these other rules and regulations, like, hey, you can't use this game for, I think one thing was interpreted, you can't use it for a charity event, or you can't sell water, like, you can't make a profit, stuff like that. I think that all goes out the window, which hopefully is the case, which will allow these events to continue to operate. I think legacy events, like you look at a Genesis, that's not going to have any problem getting licensing, because I think they've done it before in the past. So, stuff like that should be just fine, but
I am interested in what's gonna happen with the next SmashCon though, because I don't know if SmashCon usually licensed by Nintendo. They're probably not, because they're literally called Super SmashCon. So now that it's like that might have been one of the tournaments they were targeting, because they definitely don't want it to be called Super SmashCon. So now that they have the rules literally out there in the open for everybody to see, they're saying you have to get a license if you're going to run a tournament over 200 entrants. SmashCon always has over 2,000 entrants for literally Ultimate itself, so over 3,000 to 4,000 people going. So they're going to have to apply for one, and they're probably going to reject it unless they change their name or something like that.
I was going to say, the only way I can see them getting licensing is if they change that name Like they got to come off that Super Smash kind of name. I don't think that's something. I think that's something that's actually been a problem for a while. And it's just kind of skated by. But I feel like those days are coming to an end. But even if those days are, I don't think the Smash scene is. And I think everything's going to be okay. But man, there was definitely like some heart racing moments going on yesterday for a lot of folks involved. But I think everything's going to be all right, hopefully.
Man.
Also, I have a random question. E, is your like computer on your lap or something?
What? No. Why would you ask that?
Straight down the entire time.
Yeah, like
What do you mean?
I see what it.
I see what you're saying. Oh,
is your
okay.
camera like? No, like what are you reading down there, bro?
Oh,
What are you looking
no.
at?
So my bad. Okay, I was like, what are you guys?
He's watching his hot tub streams while we're doing the podcast.
No.
Crazy. Let me see your phone.
Amaranth isn't even live. Okay, look. So what's going on is I have my webcam up here on their setup, which is like a computer, like triple monitors. My laptop is right here, and you guys are here, so I'm looking down at you guys while you're talking instead of just into the camera.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was just really curious. I was thinking that the entire like first 20 to 30 minutes.
I didn't even think about that. Now I feel like a jackass. Oh my god! I'm sorry. Again, I'm not home. I'm not on my normal
Let's
setup.
redo the recording.
No.
Start off. New headline. Alan was right.
I
bet you guys would love that one, right?
I stand with Nintendo.
Oh, we know where you stand.
Tap dancing, baby.
I would like to stand with Nintendo too. You know, as much as people, I'll never get over that. You know, as much as like we've been like hurt or burned by Nintendo, I'll never say that we don't need them because we absolutely need them. And I'm never gonna like they're the toxic relationship, bro. They're the people that are like, you know, they hurt and burn you, and you're like, well, I need that. Like,
yeah, it's like,
we need to taste red flags.
Yeah, it's like, damn, man, I know you're toxic, but that ass kind of fat, so.
And guess what color Nintendo's logo is? It all makes sense.
Fair points, but we definitely wanted to touch on that like right at the get-go because it's such a hot topic, and of course we're all very optimistic that things will be okay, and wishing all those events out there applying for licenses the best of luck, and we hope Nintendo sees you and gives you what you need to operate fully. But something else I wanted to talk about, because this and I mean this as like no insult to the players, but this might have been the worst top 8/top 4 I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about the big house that took place last weekend. It had Onan take first place. Syrup took second. Those are two Steves right there. Icy Mist was in there with Samus, and then Raph was in there with Sonic.
Raph got third. Yep.
So Raph got third. Icy Mist got fourth. She did her thing. And then like Shattuck and Mr. E were in there too, but they like lost their opening rounds, so they weren't in there for long. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a lot of comments on this, and there's a good amount of misunderstandings that people don't seem to see.
You thought it was a good top 8?
I don't understand any of it.
No. I don't think it was a good top 8. It was atrocious. I didn't even watch it. Like, I definitely stood away from it just based off the characters and what was going on there. But what I mean that people don't understand is people don't understand, one, this clearly was not a big event. Like, there was no, I think Pocket or Onan is the only player there that's even in like the top 30. You know, there was no big people there. I saw people talking about the crowd in the background because there was like a lunchroom full of people in there. It's so small.
Yeah,
but like, it was so cute.
Can I hit you with that point real quick? Like that crowd shot. That I feel like Big House set Ultimate up to fail, because you saw that, and maybe it was the schedule was already written in stone, so there was no change in it. But in my opinion, you gotta call as a TO, you gotta call an audible, just at the very least to preserve some integrity for those players on set. Like that crowd shot. was horrendous. But I got more people over for a family freaking Sunday night dinner than what they had in that crowd for that top 8. That was embarrassing. They should have put Ultimate first, so at least the Melee heads are still mulling around, and then close it out with Melee. Maybe they just wanted to get Melee out the way so they could all go gamble. I know there's a nice casino out there in Detroit, and Jungle Guy's never been shy about talking about after the tournament they go gamble. So maybe they want to get that out the way real quick and then just let Ultimate
Casinos are
close it
24
out.
hours. They could have still did it.
I'm just saying, like, maybe it was a convenience thing, but they should have pulled an audible on that shit. That was horrendous.
Yeah, all I'm saying is like,
hey, you guys coming?
who the is that?
Coney.
I can't hear you.
Coney.
Hey, what's up? What's up? How's it
Mr.
going? Are
Hollywood.
you guys coming to this?
Light is.
Coming to who?
I know his ass is staying home. His
Light-
ass don't do anything.
No, Light's coming, but
I know Light's coming. His ass is staying in his purple ass room. His ass is not coming to shit.
He don't come down.
Why
I'm sorry.
are all your rooms purple? By the way, I was gonna bring it up, but he brought it for me.
That is a good point. All your rooms are purple. Explain
It
yourself.
reminds you of what?
Purple's my favorite color. What do you expect? You want it to be
Okay.
green?
Yeah, that shit's fire.
I can't make it green. This color's only purple.
You know what's funny
you
about
just
that?
conveniently have a purple light that you just carry around with you.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny about that? They
do.
say geniuses pick the color green. Light
By
picked
the way-
that. You didn't.
By the way, he's lying. I recognize that. That shit
Don't
turns
talk
green.
about it.
That shit turns green. I know where you.
go for it.
That shit,
Stop! We need to keep it right, brother. We need to keep it.
What is going on?
We need to keep it. Don't show it.
I don't know what he said, but I know he's capping.
No, you're not being serious. We need to keep it. Don't show it.
You just showed it. Anyways, back to Big House real quick. Yeah, the event, you're right. They definitely could have ran Ultimate first. I don't know why they didn't, especially since Big House is a Melee event. You'd think they would run that second. And I think that's what a lot of people aren't catching the cues on, which a lot of top players and commentators are already aware of. Big House is a Melee event. We said it for so long. It's why we didn't show up there. There's never really, it always feels like Ultimate's a side event there, or Smash 4 is a side event there, which there's no problem with that. Like, I'm not bitching about it. I love watching Melee at Big House. It's fun to watch, but like, I
Right.
don't expect Big House to have a big Ultimate event like ever. When it does, like, honestly, it usually does, but like,
It
I
usually
don't know.
does.
It usually does, but like, even then, it's like, we've always said it was still like a Melee event, you know?
Yeah.
So like, when Ultimate doesn't have a lot of people showing up, it's not really surprising to me, you know? Like, it doesn't come to a shock at all.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the fact that, you know, what happened last year, like people still felt like they were second-class citizens at the event. People weren't getting
I literally felt that way. I got second.
Yeah, people weren't getting paid in a right amount of, like, in a respectable amount of time. You know what I mean? Like, I think Meister and SkyJ had it the worst. You know, it's just, it's lost the respect of the Ultimate community at large, at least from its, certainly its top players. And there needs to be like some goodwill built back. Like, there's some people who work that event who are fantastic. Ray and Flo, their TOs, they're great. Amiibo King, he's great. But you gotta build back that goodwill with the Ultimate community, or else just, you know, it's just gonna be a Melee major, which is fine, with a side event that's Ultimate, because, you know, that's basically what the hell this was. Let's keep it honest with you, all the way. And
I like to
also,
say,
yeah, go ahead.
wait, sorry to cut you off real quick. I like to say, as far as the payments go, I think I've already said this on one podcast, but just to make sure to get out there, they did pay me sooner than I thought they paid me. I apologize to them for that. I have no beef with the Big House. I like them a lot. I just think that they're a Melee-based tournament.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we do enjoy watching Melee. It's just like, you know, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. It is what it is. I know what it is. That's just huge. So what?
What a statement.
It's
What the
a
fuck
very,
was that?
very common expression, actually.
That's a common expression.
Yes, but look,
All right, I'm
hold
gonna
on.
start peeing on people.
Well, just get. You're gonna need to get a license for that, buddy.
Yeah, I know. We're all thinking the same thing. Let's just move.
You're gonna need a license for that, buddy. All right, but moving right along. I don't. Again, as I said, even though I thought that top 8 was for Ultimate was trash. Shouts to Kels and Rod for holding it down on the mic. They did their best, and I thought they made it as good as you could. And again, I'm not knocking the players. They're playing the characters that they have. You know, people I'm gonna knock, some of these people who are supposed to be godlike and something. Louis Money. Louis talks all the time. Oh, I can take out Steve's. Oh, if I get a COLA in bracket, no problem. Louis, can you make it to him? 25th? You got 25th at this? Ridiculous. Ridiculous, Louis. Ridiculous. I expect better things. You could have won this tournament. I expect better things, Louis. I place the blame on other people who didn't make the timely wins that they needed to protect that top 4 from happening.
I didn't know he was there.
Neither did he.
Who did he lose to?
I love Louis.
Very disappointed father.
I love Louis.
Zenoto and losers. I know that.
Yep, he lost to Zenoto and losers.
He lost to a Ridley in winners.
As Palutena?
Yeah.
Hey man, he does another matchup. What can you say?
I'm sorry, Louis. I'm hard on Louis because I think Louis has top 20 potential, and he's shown it before. I'm not gonna let him off the hook for a placing like that. Should have been in that top 8, brother, holding it down. It is what it is, though.
Sorry, Louis. Hold that.
But congratulations to Onan for winning it, and Syrup, who switched from Ness to Steve to find success, getting 2nd place. Raph at 3rd, and Icy at 4th, and so on and so on. So,
I mean, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I'll take away from that tournament. Fucking Onan coming back after a good amount of time and winning that tournament. It's good to see. Sure, he almost lost it, but it's good to see that. I really want Onan to come to more tournaments because he was the best Steve practice that we did have.
In America, certainly.
Him coming back.
And Onan won that tournament from losers too, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Serb was in grands on winner's side. So I think Onan had to win 2 sets. So props to him holding it down.
Yeah.
You are right about that. Right. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're enough talking about that. Yeah, there was something else that kind of came out of that tournament. It's kind of like a side quest thing to talk about. Did you guys see? Side quest thing to talk about. Did you guys see Leffen's tweet about dropping out of the big house because he said he was getting like death threats because Hacks.
What the fuck was going on with that?
So Hacks tweeted that he tweeted out something like, hey, I want to yet again appeal to all TOs that I want you guys to unban me, because he's not banned everywhere, but he's banned at like a lot of the larger events, I guess, still. And he made a tweet like, hey, I'd love to be unbanned. You know what I'm saying? And apparently this was the theory is, well, this timing is right before the big house where, Hacks had the conflict with Leffen, which initially led to the ban. So clearly Hacks put out this statement to make Leffen uncomfortable or something like that, which resulted in Leffen tweeting out something that ended up apparently being incorrect. He deleted those tweets, rephrased it, and tweeted something different. I think he said Hacks didn't apologize to him, but in that very statement Hacks made, he did apologize to him, so that was bullshit. And then Leffen flipped it and said I'm dropping out. And here's my thing. Okay, it's no secret. I don't like Leffen. I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't like him. I'll put it out there. It's not a big deal. He don't like me either. Who the fuck cares? But I don't think anybody should be getting death threats. Obviously, now I'm not gonna be the guy who just looks at everything and just goes along with how everyone says, just march along and then follow the line. What were these death threats? You know what I mean? I'm not saying I need you to post your DMs and stuff like that, but I would assume a lot of these big guys on Twitter don't even check their DMs like that. You know what I mean? Or have them limited. That's what I would assume. So if someone's sneaking through and sending something, man, I would assume they got to be somebody. It's not just some random burner unless they're tweeting at you, stuff like that too. I don't know. I think that kind of stuff is just corny, but I also think it's just little people who are trying to make you feel unsafe or whatever like that. And I can get it. Hey, man, you're in a different country. Sure, it can bother you. But largely when I get DMs, and I do get DMs or messages that are kind of aggressive or threatening, I'm just all right, Jim, pull up. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I don't take that shit serious. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think... Maybe, for comfort's sake, I can't speak for his comfort. I don't know if I would have dropped out, because I feel like that just gives people more power to just keep maybe sending those kind of threats and stuff your way, or they thinking they control your life and stuff like that. And I don't think you can let them control you like that. So, but again, I can't speak for his comfort level. I can speak for the fact, though, I think Hacks should absolutely be unbanned. And that's my opinion on the matter. And a lot of people share that opinion. But I don't think it shouldn't come at the expense of anybody. You know what I mean? But
wait, didn't Hacks make him out to be like Hitler or some shit like that?
It was a very intense.
Let's back up a second real quick.
It was a very intense video that Hacks made, portraying Leffen as a literal villain, which it was. The video to me was more insane hilarity than like I think its intended purpose, which was to expose him or whatever. I was just like, you're just having a manic episode right now. And we should encourage him to get help, which I think he did end up getting some help. He's been, again, banned from a lot of events for a couple years now. Deep breaths. I don't think this guy's a danger to anybody. He got the help that everybody's always preaching. Hey, if you're having like some sort of psychological issue, go get some help. All right, the guy go get some help. What's his reward? We're still shunning you. Does that make any sense? Huh?
It's weird because like, I don't know. For one, let's get this out of the way. People have been banned for a lot less, which isn't a good thing. Our community sucks in that regard. Of course, there are a lot of justifiable bans, but there's also some that are very questionable and very stupid. What I will say though is I don't really know where this stands, because if I got someone calling me Hitler, like he's serious. Yeah, it's laughable. It's super fucking laughable. Let's get that out the way. It's hilarious. But it's like, I don't even know. What do you say to that? Like he gets unbanned and then he comes to tournaments next to you and he's like, hey, how's it going? Like you can't have a casual conversation or be around.
That's the thing. Why would they even interact?
I want to fold this nigga personally. But
well, I don't think Leffen's gonna be folding anyone. Let's be honest. But I don't think they'd have any reason to even interact. Like if they have to play in bracket, okay. Like I've seen plenty of people who just straight up don't like to have to play in bracket. You sit down, you do your counter picks, you play the game. Maybe you fist bump just because of sportsmanship, or maybe just get up and walk away. Like it doesn't have to be this huge deal. I think personally, that's just my opinions on me. I'm a little old school in my thinking. Maybe some of you disagree, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly acceptable. Again, I'm not speaking for Leffen's comfort level. I'm just saying I can't let anonymous people control what I'm going to do in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when I don't think this was a plot to make. This was a plot. This was like a time thing. I think, Big House is coming up. He's probably like, damn, I wish I could be there. Let me just issue something real quick. So this isn't the case next year. Would it even have been a problem if he did it after Big House? Like, I don't think this was like a on purpose targeted attack. This is my 2 cents.
Yeah. I agree with that. I just think, I don't know. Usually I know what to say about these scenarios, but this scenario is so fucking weird. Like, I don't think anybody, if Leffen was getting death threats, that's fucking horrible. I think that's terrible.
Yeah, it's lame.
Do that shit because you're fucking stupid. But let's be honest, most of those people are on Twitter. Those people don't come to tournaments. They're not real people. I guess it doesn't make it less scary nonetheless, but like the situation is just weird. It's just a weird interaction between two people. It's like, how do you deal with that from now on? And it's like, no one's going to monitor that either. I don't know. I don't know if he should be banned or not, but I think Leffen should have still went to Big House. That's all I'll say about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough.
Cosmos, you got something to say?
I got nothing to say about this. I have no idea what to say about it either.
It's like, what the fuck do you even say about it?
It's like, weird, yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like, super, bro, he called him Hitler.
Yeah, I can at least say that Leffen's not Hitler.
He's not. He's not.
Wait, what? I could have sworn.
Let's. I don't know where this is going. We're out of here. So yeah. Stop. Respect players. Don't send them threats. Free hacks. I'm out of here. All right. We got one more thing to talk about before we wrap it up. Big tournament coming up. The Coney CAMEO might have gave it away when he was asking, are you guys coming? We're talking about Let's Make Moves Miami. It's a Steve Band tournament, but it's going to be rocked with all kinds of talent from North America. I think everybody's very excited. I think you guys have the seating up for that. If you want to kind of like chime in a little bit on that, maybe we can get where light seating is going to be, since he will be here competing in that event. I want to know your predictions, man. What's going to happen?
I win.
All right, just like every other tournament that you don't win, but
he gets close though. He gets close.
Bro, I'm tired of catching strays from someone who's not top 50.
You're tired of catching strays.
Your strays are deserved. Get your fucking ass in the lab. I'm tired of you fucking sucking. I don't want to hear it.
Anyway, sorry. I
can't hear you from. Oh wait, you're not even at this tournament. You see, you get your shit. Go to a fucking tournament, bro. Go to a fucking tournament.
Don't. You don't want to play me in tournament, bro. I know you don't want to play me in tournament. I'll tell you that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. One, you're right. Two, Don't act like I can't beat you. It's just not...
finally make it to your bracket.
Yeah, actually. All right, one, you're right. I'm not denying that you can or cannot beat me, but I can also do the same. But two, that doesn't mean you haven't begun your shit fucking folded like pancakes, bro. I want to see you at a tournament, bro. What is fucking happening? Is that bet with Phil still going on? What's going on?
The next tournament's port priority, baby.
I don't
Is that the
know.
last one? Please tell me is that the last one?
No, that is the last one because I'm gonna get top 8 free.
Wait, so you have another chance after that?
Yeah, but I won't need it.
This is news to me. I like to point that out. I don't even know what's after port.
All right, let's talk about me because I'm actually going to.
All right.
So I think I was like the 5th seed and Leo was the 4th seed. But then somebody made a tweet like, get Leo down from there. He's going to hurt himself. And then they were like, okay. And then they put him at 8th seed. And now I'm the 4th seed.
Which is really funny because I'm pretty sure that means that, no, you don't have to play him. He has to play Spargo. Never mind.
I have to actually, my bracket's actually kind of interesting. I have to fight Neo, apparently. That's what someone told me, which I'm okay with that. I'm very interested to fight Neo. I have a decent amount of corn experience. I played Cosmo sometimes.
Want to play me on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, if you come back to Ohio.
I still have fiber internet in the mod, so we can still play.
We'll see. I'm actually interested, but we'll see. But so I'm probably going to have to fight Neo, which I'm not really worried about. It's very interesting. I'm not underestimating him, I'm just confident. Here's the thing, though. I think on the other side of my bracket before top 8 is Zamba versus Meister. So I think LG was doing some of their famous, and they were like, let's give Meister 2+2 matchups, and some of the best players in America. Let's give him Zamba into light. I'm sure he'll do great there.
I am unfamiliar with the seeding decisions at this tournament.
No, but realistically, I actually do want to fight Meister again because I just want to get better at the Game & Watch matchup. I haven't done any studying on the Game & Watch matchup yet, even though Coney and Abe does have VODs, mainly for the fact that there haven't been any Game & Watches in my way lately, and there have been other people to focus on. But I actually really do want to fight Meister again, because I'd rather get bad results and learn a matchup than just avoid all the people who are actually troubling me.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I mean this wholeheartedly. I think if you get to top 8 winners, you win the tournament, because I think actually everything else will honestly go as seeded, at least for your bracket. I feel like if you get the top 8 winners, I'm pretty sure Sonics is also going to get the top 8 winners. You're going to have to play. No,
I'd fight Tweak if it's seeding wise. I would fight Spargo and Tweak seeding wise.
Yeah, so I think you would beat them, and then you would have to fight Sonics in winners finals, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how this happens. Honestly, I'm very interested, but I think it's very known that I've been playing a lot lately. I've been competing, and I've been getting really consistent results for the last 4 tournaments that I've been going to. I'm very dangerous to these people right now. I don't think anybody in that top 3 wants to fight me. The only one who might want to fight me in that top 3 is Sonics, and that's because I've just hit him so hard he's delusioned.
He's on a Sasuke shit, bro. You're Itachi.
Bro, that man has pages of notes ready to beat me. Honestly, obviously Sonics could beat me. We've had very close sets. I'm not saying he can't beat me. But it's just funny to make fun of, because it's just memeable at this point.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious.
I think if you end up making it to him in winners finals, you win that tournament. And I love Sonics, but I don't think he can beat you. Not consistently enough to win there.
Yeah, I think Sonics can't beat you twice in a tournament. Yeah, I don't know if that's happened.
I think Sonics can beat me. I just don't think he will, because I'm better.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What about? I mean, I feel like there's some isn't Spargo going to this event?
Yeah, Spargo's going.
Yeah, I feel like Spargo's how is he not how are we not talking about Spargo in winners finals?
Spargo has to last time.
Spargo has to fight me in winners semis, and I said in the last podcast, Spargo can obviously beat me. Spargo is top 3 in the world. He can obviously beat me. But I did figure something out versus him that I do think will make it very like more manageable to beat him. And of course, he can change the way he plays. We'll see how it goes. Let's just see if he adapts that fast, Okay. Or if I can even execute those things. If I get to top 8 though, I will be playing good.
Nice.
Let's see if he honestly makes it to you though, because like Leo's bracket from how he's seeded is pretty good, and he's seeded to play Spargo to make it into top 8. So
that could be big.
Right before that, I'm pretty sure he has to play the Buzz, and Leo always beats the Buzz. I feel like even a Wash Leo would at least 3-1 the Buzz, because he's just very good against all of his characters.
Yeah.
And I think like whenever Leo plays Spargo, even though Leo like might not be as motivated, might not be as dedicated, he might not be as like practiced, I feel like whenever he plays Spargo, he does go back to like his old self. Like Spargo brings like the old Leo out of him, because he does always play well against Spargo. Spargo's just very good, so like whenever Spargo beats him, it's just because they're both like basically both in God mode essentially. So I do think that set can go either way, so you might end up playing Leo if you do get the top 8.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Leo last time I played him too, which I'm happy about. That was like the first time I feel like I flat out beat his Joker in a long time. So I feel great about that. I'm ready for it. I really am. I'm excited to see how this bracket plays out, but I think I'll do pretty good.
100%. I know I'm going to do a watch party for that tournament. I can't wait, man. You're there.
You, Jim?
Huh?
The thing that's interesting is actually KOLA. This is definitely going to be his first time in a while.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how he's going to do, because he's not seeded as high as like 21st seed. I really don't know who he's going to have to play. I don't know what kind of matches he's going to run into, but I feel like people are definitely going to be scared to play him, which is going to be a big factor for him because he plays Roy.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay. There was a tournament like 2 weeks ago that KOLA played in. It was like a Georgia local. He got second place to Omega. He reset the bracket on him, but he did lose in the second set of grand finals. So Omega plays Joker. So definitely, KOLA's definitely, besides just showing up and playing a lot of friendlies with people and dominating at a few tournaments, we've seen him like at GAMO and SmashCon playing a lot of friendlies and having a lot of success there. He entered the tournament, got second place, not bad. Still, obviously very talented, but I think he's going to have a little bit more tournament rust than people might be expecting. So I expect KOLA to perform well, but I don't know if top 8 is included in well.
Yeah, it is a possibility. Well, I will say in like out of top 16, top 17 through 32, the people that I see that are like, they are kind of worrisome to me, who I think could possibly do really good, is KOLA, Tilde, because Tilde is actually really freaking good at this game.
He's insane.
I think Tilde could do really good. Tarek could do good. And then Wrath, I'd say. Wrath, I think, always has a chance to do good. Chase and Louis Money are at this event. Louis needs to pick it up from how he did in this last tournament. And Chase, listen to me. Listen to me, Chase. Listen to me, Chase. Fuck you. You suck.
I want you.
I want you.
Oh, Mute's here too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Mute's there. I just hope he doesn't want anybody.
Well,
yeah.
I think
because he said he wanted Mia, and he was like, "Get away from me." That's what Mia did.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I also think that MVD can do pretty well, because sometimes he just pops off randomly. And then also I know that Webb is one of the players that is like kind of like at the like currently known as like the mid-high level, but is like he's accelerating his skill level very like quickly, that I notice at least.
Yeah. There's a lot of good high level talent here, honestly.
I agree. I think next week we're gonna have so much to talk about from that event, and I'm so excited for it.
Yes, sir. Me too. I can't believe the Buzz is 9th seed.
It's hard, man. This is like this is bringing together all of NA's finest. No Japan will be here. I don't believe any.
Damn.
Oh, well, okay. A couple of Japan, but not like the regulars. You're not going to get your like KOLAs. Why would a KOLA come in? Which I still say this, by the way, this tournament is messed up for Ban and Steve, because a KOLA can't even defend his win that he got last year. So stupid. I hate that so much, but it's still going to be a dope event regardless. But come on, man, that was a really bad call, and I will stand on that. But yeah,
Ban Steve. Just unban Steve, bro. There's no point in having Steve ban. You're literally dividing the community away from our best player in the world.
Exactly. So, leave that to Nintendo.
Somebody send this to Max.
I'm kidding. I love Nintendo. All right. I think that wraps up Lights Out for today. Good episode, lot to cover, lot to preview, and just like a lot to look forward to, man. We are 32 episodes into this, but as I always say, we cannot do it without you, our loyal fans and homies. We appreciate you so much. So if you did enjoy this episode, as per usual, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because you always know the vibes. And we look forward to catching you on the next one. Peace.